What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Chantel Riley, and you are watching Two Mics Up.
Happy Monday, everyone. It's your man, Dame D, NYDC. I hope you had a good day because I had a great day. This evening is going to get even better. And let me tell you why. Tonight's guest is going to be joining me on the mic. I cannot tell you how radiant she is. You can see her energy, you can feel her energy just through her smile, her grace. And I'm excited to be able to have her join me tonight on the other mic. We're going to kind of dive in, and we're going to talk about her creative canvas, if you will. She's a super multi talented actress, entertainer. She's been on stage, she's been across the globe. And not to be creepy or anything, she was just on vacation. So a little nice little trip of her on vacation where it seemed like she was getting herself centered and brought back, if you will. It's been hard out here for some of us, and sometimes a little me time is good. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me raise a glass to tonight's guest, the incredible, like I said, the radiant Chantel Riley. Chantel, how you doing this evening?
I am doing so good. What a fascinating intro. I
Hey,
appreciate
try
that.
try to get it all in there because
I love
you're
it.
you're well rounded. You really are, and your energy and your smile, like I say, speaks volumes as to who you are, and that's where I like to start. If you don't mind, Chantel, just
Of
you
course.
know who are you? Who is Chantel, the person, when she's not in front of the screen or on stage?
Oh wow, good question. It's like I feel like I'm figuring that out every single day. But I guess I could say I am a daughter, a sister, a friend, a cousin, a confidant. I'm a lover of the arts, music, singer, um, anime watcher. I mean, like traveler. You know what I mean? Just an all around person that loves to, spend time with herself and others, and yeah, just spread love as much as I possibly can wherever I
I
go.
love I love that. That spread love, especially in the world that we're living in today. We're bombarded with so much negativity, if you will, and challenges. But you have a really interesting background in the sense, one coming from Canada, for those
Mhm.
who don't know, Jamaican background and roots. Shout out to my Jamaican massive out there, Carabana out there
Yeah.
in Toronto, where they
Yep.
be getting it in.
So,
Yeah,
so.
yep, yep. But for you, I'm curious. You've been on stage, The
Mhm.
Lion King, and I believe was that in Germany. I believe it was,
Started in
and
Germany. Yeah.
and I mean, and then to bring it on stage, I believe, and then to do film and to sing. Like, what has it been like for you on your journey, across the world, really,
Yeah.
and making your mark as an artist?
Wow. Um, Unexpected because
Okay.
it was never a goal or even a dream of mine to be an actor. I
Wow.
grew up in church and sang in church, and at the time was still in dance. I was doing tap, jazz, and ballet, and was teaching dance in my church, and was really loving that and being with kids and just I love the idea of being around them and teaching them what I've been learning for so many years and watching them go on stage and shine so brightly and so I thought like, hey man, I'm gonna be a dance teacher. I'm gonna go to get my teaching certificate and teach at my studio that I was dancing at, and that was the plan. And
Okay.
so when I went to university, by the time I, kind of figured that's something I wanted to do, it was a little too late for me to audition for the arts program. So I said, okay, you know what? Let me just stick with this sociology major. Sure, why not? Get me something to just do, get the plaque for my parents, say
Right.
I did
Right.
it.
Check. Check.
You
My
know,
bad.
um, you know what I'm saying? Mom and dad make them proud. I'm gonna be honest that school wasn't, especially for that subject, wasn't really something I was too into. I knew that I wanted to do the arts in some form or fashion.
Right.
And dance was something that I really enjoyed, although I love singing and it was something I was already doing in church. So I'm like, hey man, I'm good.
Right.
I'm good
Right.
here. But God had obviously much bigger plans for me. And it was while I was working
Mhm.
auto insurance program, auto insurance company that a friend of mine had approached me at church, who's now my mentor, and she said, "Hey, there's an open casting call for The Lion King. You should go check it out." And I remember being like,
Mm.
"Well, I don't know much about acting. I do know I love being on stage. I love
Right.
performing. So hey, why not go take a chance, see what happens?" I remember scrambling to get my like headshots done. Someone just took a black and white photo of me. I, made some stuff on the resume up of stuff that I did in church, you know, um,
I love
and
it. I love
went
it. Sell it. Sell
went
yourself.
yeah, went went downtown Toronto, took a very long lunch break. I apologized to my manager at the time because that lunch break was a lot longer than an hour, okay? But I said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens." And after that, I got several callbacks, and a couple months later, was asked to uh, fly to Germany to audition for
Wow.
Der König der Löwen, The Lion King, in Hamburg, Germany. And at that time, I had just gotten an agent and was still so new to this whole thing. And I thank God again for my mentor, Olenike Riley. She took me under her wing and helped me with the lines and understanding, acting because I didn't
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
never trained for it at all. And so I went to Germany, was there for the 5 days, learned the song in like 2 days in German. The entire show was in
Wow.
German.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I had to audition in German. Well, the songs were in audition for the song process was in German, and then the scene itself
Mm.
we didn't English. Thank God, because I'm like, I don't know if I could do
Right.
all this by myself. Um, so thank you guys for doing that part for me. And it was like around my final day of being in Germany where they're like, okay, so we want to give you the part, and I remember being like,
Wow.
okay, cool, and he's like, you don't
That's it?
seem too excited. Like, are
Excited?
you good? Like, are you? And I'm like, I think it took me a minute for it to just really
Yeah.
settle in
Wow.
because
Yeah.
my life was about to change completely off of just,
Dramatically. Come
yeah, you know what I mean? Taking this
mm.
leap of faith, something that
Right.
God brought to me and being like, hey, why not? Take a chance
Right.
and see where this goes. And after I did 1 year in Germany and then did 4 years in New York on Broadway, playing the same role
Wow.
as. And
Ooh.
even then, even going to Broadway, I still wasn't like,
Wow.
it wasn't
In that
computing. Like,
headspace? Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
understand. I also it was still so new to me. Like,
New
it didn't click that like you're on one of the biggest stages in the world. Like, do you understand how
biggest.
that
That's
is?
right.
And I was
That's
like,
right.
okay, well, New York, okay, Broadway, sure. Like, I still no, I had no idea, and it wasn't up. I got there, and even my agent was like, "Do you understand like what's happening right now?" And I'm like,
That's huge.
"This is huge, but I still got to pray about it. Give me a minute, Got to take
Wow.
everything up to God first. To this
That's
day, got
right.
to take everything
That's
up to
right.
God first. This is part of God's plan, and it surely was. And I spent 4 incredible years
Wow.
on that stage and learned so much about the industry, about the
Right.
artistry. The people that I've met who are my friends to this day, they're my family at this point, not even just friends, they're family. And just all the wisdom that I was able to take from them.
Mm, mm,
Like,
mm.
my roommates were Sidi Manye, who played Rafiki, and Benita Hamilton Caesar, who played Shenzi. So I had two very incredible powerhouses
Incredible.
that I was trying to
Yes.
share this time
Yes.
with and this with, but was also just soaking in
Yes.
all of their wisdom. They had been in that time, they've been in the show for like 15 plus years already.
Wow. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
true
So
super veterans, really.
yeah, they're
Ooh,
veterans. I'm sitting there like,
ooh.
I'm here, help. I don't know anything.
Right. Right.
um,
Wow.
and I'm so to this day, like I'm so grateful to them. They guided me and they really, really helped me out to navigate Broadway and how huge it is and how huge the opportunity was. And yeah, from there I broke into film and television, got my first film with race.
Yes.
And at
Uh-huh.
that moment I was like, okay, yeah, this I
That's
like
that you still it was starting to really sink in and
yeah,
really you starting to get your legs, you see
yeah,
legs. And I just have to ask you, real quick, like, from doing the, TV, film, you know, being live in front of a live audience, like which one, you know, do you one prefer, and two, like how do you compare the two? Or
oh
what's
man.
the differences?
Wow. It's probably gonna be impossible to choose between the two. I love them both so much. I mean, I started in theater. I started on stage even before getting into acting. I've been on stage from such a young age as a dancer and always loved the performance of it and the aspect of the live audience. And it's something about feeling the energy in the crowd and being on that stage as Nala on top of that. It's a different kind of beast. It's different. But I also love being in front of the camera and telling these stories and seeing
Hmm.
even just how, for the first time, witnessing how these even come together, these
Right.
movies
How it
and
comes to
television
life.
shows, all the cameras and the lights and just all the moving parts that
Hmm.
it takes to make just that one scene.
Right.
And so I was so fascinated by that, like being in front of this camera, but at the same time, you got like 70 people standing behind there watching your every move. Camera is like this close on your
Right
face.
here. Right.
And, you know,
Wow.
so it's definitely different in that sense where, with film and TV, it's a lot more, intimate and there's smaller moments. Whereas on
Right.
stage, you get to be big and live
I can
and
only
boisterous.
imagine. I can only imagine what that feeling, just that live audience feel,
God,
the
yes,
energy that the energy is probably just incredible.
it
And
is.
you know, you mentioned something too, just about like film and things, and like being in race, and you also in colorblind, where I believe your character was Magdalene,
Yes.
and we sat and we watched it, just in preparation, and it seemed like that movie is very true to like a lot of what's happening today in our cultural environment still, right? And if you could just take a few moments to like talk about your character and maybe the message, without
Yeah.
giving too much to the audience for those who maybe
Yes.
haven't seen it. But I'm also curious to know too. I want to ask too, like, did it leave an impact on you too? Like, was there an impact that you still carry with you today? Because the movie was very impactful, in my opinion.
So yeah, so colorblind. I played Magdalene, and it's a story about her and her son Monet, who moved back to her mother's hometown. You could probably say it's a predominantly white neighborhood, and her
Hmm.
being a black woman coming to this neighborhood, she probably gonna get some looks and some stares,
Yeah.
but it's not something that she wasn't prepared for. She understands who she is as a black woman, but also as an artist. And
Hmm.
so it's called colorblind for, I guess, two. It's like a double entendre, I guess you would call it, where she's a colorblind artist. So her
Mm.
and her son are actually colorblind. And so it just follows her journey as being an artist, kind of a struggling artist at that point of her life. She had just lost her husband, and navigating through this new transition of her life while raising this young, beautiful black boy and teaching him the importance of love and kindness and what
Hmm.
it is to be a black child in this day
Right.
and age. And
Right.
so did it leave a lasting impression on me? I'm trying not to go too much into it, so in
Right.
case you
Right.
it. But yeah, of course. I mean, I personally had never played a role like that, of that intensity before,
Mm,
and so
mhm,
it gave me the opportunity to kind of. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I was a little like, I don't know if I'd want to do this because I try to be as picky as I possibly can with roles because
mhm,
don't
right,
I want to make sure it's leaving an impression, a lasting impression of
yeah,
not super negative or when it comes to
right,
Black stories, I know sometimes it could get a little exhausting seeing the same
mhm,
story being told over again
right,
when it comes to Black trauma, for example.
mhm,
But I
mhm,
also understand the importance of having these stories be told from
yes,
different lenses and different perspectives in order
yeah,
for people to fully understand what we go through as a community.
yeah,
And so,
mhm,
yeah, of course, there was the scene of I'm not gonna give it away, but there's a few scenes there with some
y
interactions with higher
yes,
officials um,
yes,
that were pretty intense, for
yeah,
me,
yeah,
and I'm sure and I feel like it's not super far fetched that something like that has happened to someone in the past. We see stories all the
and
time within our community of
that's
how, yeah, how Black folk are treated
it
or
was
have.
very real, very,
Yeah.
very real, don't go anywhere. We're gonna take a short pause for the cause, and we're gonna come back and continue this amazing conversation with the beautiful and the radiant Chantel Riley, and we're gonna talk about, you know, really how she dives in and prepares for characters, and if any of her characters resonate with her, and we're gonna try to see if we can find out,
Ooh.
maybe why they do. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the short pause for the cause. See you on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh out the break, the awesome Chantel Riley here. She is, man, killing the game, actress, singer, stage, you name it. She's done it. And make sure you guys really pay attention to her, man. She's an awesome human being, seriously talented. So really, look out for her because she's definitely on the rise. And we're going to continue talking about her creative canvas. And, Chantel, we talked about a couple of your roles so far. And I'm just curious, is there any role that really resonates with you, in the
Mm,
sense of maybe you were in a place or space, or it was something that really challenged you in a way that maybe you didn't, initially visualize, for the role.
mm. Honestly, I will have to say playing Nala was,
Okay.
yeah, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it was like my first major gig or any
Hmm.
first gig, and um, she is someone who exudes confidence and pride and grace and beauty
Mm,
and all,
mm,
power, all those things and leadership. And I felt like at that point in my life, I didn't feel like I had those things. And
mm,
so I felt like that journey of being able to be her and become her every night, 8 times a week,
mm.
really allowed me to learn a lot from who she is and therefore
Okay.
learn that about myself and find that within
Hmm.
myself. I always
That's
admired
awesome.
her. Like, even growing up watching the movie, like everyone, oh, I want to be Nala. Like every girl wanted to be her because of that. You know what I mean? And so it's actually crazy to think that I had the chance to, you know, play her and to exude who she
Yeah.
was. And I'm so grateful for who she is because it's allowed me to teach myself to be prideful and to be a leader and
Wow.
to, know my value and to know I'm a queen and
Wow.
to walk in
Okay.
confidence and stuff like that. And
All
because,
right.
like I said, something that I did struggle with at that time in my life.
Mm,
And so I definitely walk away with a piece of who she is inside of me now because of her. And I'm so grateful
wow.
to play that role. It really changed my life.
Wow.
It really did.
Wow, I'm saying the hairs on the back of my neck is stand up because just to hear that though, no, really, because that's very powerful. And I mean, sometimes we sit on this side or we watching all of the glamour and everything because it's glamorous to us. But
Yeah.
this is your life, this is your work, and I think that's the most important part. I really would like our audience to connect with because these are things that you carry on within yourself. This is a life changing uh
Yeah.
event, if you will. And
It is.
for me now, it really helps me get a better understanding because again, following you across social media and different things, we see that. Well, I see that, and that's why I say like when I said, the word radiant and you're so I see that, you wear yourself, your stature and the way that you walk and the way that you present yourself. So I see all of that. And if anyone is listening or watching, really think about these type of things whether it be becoming an actor or anything you do in your life, have that confidence, find that thing that you can marry yourself to
Yes.
and live that and bring that to life. You do that so well, so well.
Well, thank you so
um
much. It takes
i
work,
i, I
honey. It's been work.
I'm pretty sure it does.
We
I'm pretty
always
sure
have
it does because
green over here. God is good. God is good. I'll tell you, man,
well,
there's been some tears,
some tough times,
but
some tough
though the
times and
storm
some
may
tears.
last for a night, joy comes in the morning, and I stand on that. I stand on God's
Mm.
word. I stand on God's grace. I am nothing without my God. Nothing.
I know.
Nothing.
Look, don't get me in here preaching. We all
What?
have a story to tell. Look,
Let's get a
I have
word.
stories. And look, I'm telling you, I've said this before. 10 years ago, I should have lost my life. And here
Mm,
I am with a second chance. And I'm doing something that was the furthest thing from my mind. And to be able to sit here and talk to people like yourself and share inspiration with others on this platform, that was my second opportunity. And I
wow.
stand on that because all I remember is the doctor saying to my wife and my daughter, look, we don't know what else to tell you, but if you believe in God, it's time to pray.
Oof.
I
Wow.
came out of that experience. I smell the grass every morning. I see the deepest
Oh,
blue in the sky. I see people in color. There's just so many things that have shifted my life. And I
mhm.
stand on God as well. I'm not going
Oh,
to,
amen.
get crazy with it, but He is real. So
Amen.
I do want to say because we're on the back end. I mean, amazing conversation, but I do want to ask you just to have a little fun. We were doing some
Yeah.
research, and as an actress, and
Yes.
hair game is everything for our sisters, especially whether they're acting or not. But there's a new product that was invented. I think it's by Maya Vanna, if I'm saying it correct, and it's called Hair AI. And basically, it can tell you what type of products you need for your hair just from a photo. I don't know, but I'm just curious for you. Would that be right? Just curious, like for you,
What?
would that be something that you would be right? Look, I don't know how true this is. I haven't, but I came across it and I was
Wow.
like, you know what? I think Chantel would be the perfect person to ask this question. Would this
Oh
be
my.
something that you would be interested in partaking in as an actress?
Oh man. I feel like I have this like love hate relationship with technology.
Okay.
Like the idea is great. Like, look how much easier life would be. I know exactly what to buy, where to buy it, and how much to use. Fantastic.
Right.
At the same time, I'm like, what else are you figuring out about me? I'm on my skeptical with technology. I'm like, I get it. It's easier for us. I love it. But what else are you trying
Right.
to figure out? What else are you looking in?
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know. So that's why I'm like, AI, I love it. It's made my life a little chat GPT, it's made it a little
Right,
easier.
right, right, right. Just for your hair.
It's something, it's a little too easy. It's a little too good to be true. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, I'm with you. You know, as a sister that's out there working, and I have a wife and daughter. We talked about it. But I was like, I think this would be a great question. I don't know. I'm with you. I'm kind of hesitant when it comes to these type of technologies because I'm
Yeah.
with you. I don't know what else you're capturing or looking to
You know what I'm
capture.
saying?
So
I'm
yeah,
reading some things. I'm seeing some things like, I don't know.
yeah. Okay. I think we're not on the same page. Look here, nothing against hair AI, but I think we'll put you on pause, and
Yeah.
we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes.
Appreciate you. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. I'm scared.
Yeah, no, we ready.
It's so funny you say that. I
We on
just
pass.
saw a post recently about this woman who developed a hologram of of a person that she's going to marry,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna have a whole
Huh?
wedding ceremony, and it's made up of data from
Uh-uh.
past relationships that she's had,
Yeah, no,
and she's made
no.
this
There's a reason
hologram
why.
person.
There's a
It's
reason why
wild.
they're in the
She's sitting
past
there
too, though.
eating dinner, and
Oh
he's
no,
eating dinner with her, and they're having engaging conversation. It's
no.
wild to me.
Yeah, no, we're gonna pass on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass
They're
on that.
they're the past. They're the past for a reason. So I don't know if I want all my passes into one. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good on that.
How
I'm
much
good.
more
I pass.
headache? We don't need any more
Yeah,
headache.
I'm
We
good.
can stay back there.
No,
We
I
don't
don't
need
need
to
it.
go
No, I don't need it. Look, it's been an amazing conversation, Chantel. Thank you so much. I do want to ask you though, before we close out the segment, I want our audience to really go out and support you. So, you have any social media or anything that you'd like to share
back.
with us? We'll make sure we put it in the show notes.
Yes, please. You could follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Chantel_Riley. You can find my children's book that I wrote called I Am. It's a book of
Oh,
affirmations that's for children. You can find that on Amazon, or you can find it on Barnes and Nobles, or if you're listening from Canada, you can find that in Indigo Books. So please take a look,
look.
support. I did this for the children. I love the kids. I have a boutique clothing line called Sweet Riley. You could go to Sweet Riley, shopsweetriley.com. You could find your
Wow.
little outfits for the kids. Summer's coming up soon, so get some cool little outfits. I do it all for the children. I love the children. I don't have any kids of my own, um, but I love being an auntie, and until that day comes where I have my own kid,
I
I will just
love it.
continue pouring out into others. So please check that out. Thank you guys so much. And thank you so much for having me on the show. I had such a great time speaking with you.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your amazing schedule. I know you've been busy. We got to get you to come back because see, we didn't even get time to talk about the book. We just gonna have to do a whole nother segment with you, and we're just gonna talk
We'll
about
do
the
a part
book.
two.
Yeah, we'll do a
Sure.
part two. Yeah, I mean, look, you're part of the family now, so we'll come back
Oh,
and do a
thank
part two,
you.
and we definitely got to talk about that. I love that, ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen, the radiant Chantel Riley, and as you know, it's that time we're gonna close out the show. I'm your man, Dame DNYDC. You can go ahead and follow me across social media at Dame DNYDC. Please continue to go ahead and follow Two Mics Up as well across all social media: IG, Facebook, Twitter, well, X now, and
Oh yeah.
YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just by chance, make sure you go ahead and go down there, you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that bell before you leave so you can be notified for from all this new content that we bring you guys, here at Two Mics Up. And don't forget, watch, like, follow, and do all of those other things that you're supposed to do. And ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate you. And as we close the door on today's amazing conversation, I'm gonna ask you to do a couple of things like we always do. I'm gonna ask you to stay safe, stay blessed, and Mike's out.
007.